So, Resident Evil has been a franchise that seemed to not have a steady ground sometime. When the franchise is described, most would say it's a survival horror. Yet, there are games in the franchise like Operation Raccoon City, Resident Evil 5 and 6 that clearly scare no one. But where did it all shift? It all comes down to Resident Evil 4. Everyone that played game know this one. It's a game changer. It's the one that invented the camera angle of a third-person shooter. It revolutionized gaming and horror. Now of course, who wouldn't want to follow and expand upon that? You just can look online how much money it made. But the problem with Resident Evil 4 was that there's this fine line in this game. There's the part that's cool, like really awesome and campy. And then there's the part that's not so cool, creepy, horror, spooky vibe. Now, gameplay wise, you can roundhouse kick a motherfucker and that's not creepy at all. The creepy moment were the monster and their sound. So they tried to expand on that and they made Resident Evil 5 and 6. Both games that contain horror element, yes, but they're far too campy to be creepy or scary. But they sold really well, better than each other one after the other. Still, Capcom wanted to please fans, so they went back slowly to their roots with Resident Evil 7 and later on with the remake. So now that we're back to 4, it comes with the question of what's next in Resident Evil remake franchise. Well, we can already examine what they're going to do with what they kinda fixed by working on the remake. They completely took away zombie with gun in Resident Evil 4. Even when there was the classic Bill Soldier dude with a minigun, they changed him to throw arrow and have like a pig head and less soldier-like military look, which it looked less campy and felt less like an action type of a moment. It felt more natural to the creepy vibe the game need. They also took away the moment where Leon would run away from Boulder and giant statue that has a flamethrower mouth. They still put them in the game as a subtle hint of reference, but they toned it down. They also toned down cheesy comment he would say like, "If we were in a movie, you'd be a side character," or "No way bro," which I would keep the line "No way bro" because it's iconic as hell. In the game, it mentioned and set up the story of Resident Evil 5, but there's a few issues with that. Firstly, Wesker is introduced much earlier in the franchise as a Resident Evil 1 character, so making him the big bad guy kinda seemed weird. Secondly, Ada normally give the virus to Wesker, but because that doesn't make sense with Ada, I mean she doesn't care much about stuff, but she isn't evil enough to get a madman the virus to kill Billion, so she didn't, but she did in the original, so there's an inconsistency. Chris isn't introduced yet, the main guy you play with in Resident Evil 5? Yeah, no one knows the guy in the remake. So what's gonna happen to Resident Evil 5 if there's all those elements that are missing? Well, from what I think, they're just going to do Leon. They're going to make a brand new Resident Evil 5 with Leon as the main character. Now it's probably be Leon in Africa. But yeah, there's more to it than that. Though they tease a whole lot in the main campaign that Ashley wants to be a special agent like Leon, so we might see her again. Personally, I wouldn't mind. I kinda like Ashley from the original. She was bratty, but she became less and less, and in this game she's cute and she always worry about you. So either way, I hope she come back. It'll probably depend on how much years there's been in between of the 4th game and the 5th. So the story of Resident Evil 5 might put Leon more on the main spot. He's probably gonna be sent in Africa for a mission revolving Wesker as the main bad guy. Now, I don't think he'll be used as a big bad villain, but more as a Sadler type villain. I also don't think there will be a partner system compared to the original, for the sake of being it more focused on the creepiness. But he might, and I just say might, get someone that he will have to escort. Wesker will have a right hand man, like the original. Now normally it's Jill, and you know, at first glance that seemed like a good way to introduce both to each other, Leon and Jill. But I think that if she's in the game, she's probably gonna be a second main character that you follow in the game, and not the right hand man of Wesker. It also depends on how much time has passed. If there's a few years, Jill might be replaced by Ashley, as I mentioned before, because she's wanted to be trained as an agent, or they might just put just Leon. Either case, it won't be Jill. So who would be his right hand man to Wesker? I think there's another person that could kind of fix two issues I have with this sequel, while at the same time being equally as skilled as Jill was in the original, adding to it more emotional scene, and that is Ada Wong. So the story will be focused on Leon arriving to Africa. Of course, American will send him. He stopped the virus vision the last time, so he'll be sent because of the possible rumor and or whatever loss of contact of other special agent. As he, walk around and discover more stuff, he slowly unravel the mystery behind what's happening to this town and the virus behind it. And that's where we find out Ada got caught by Wesker and enslaved to give the virus. So that explains how he got it, the virus. And so Wesker expanded the virus' ability to turn himself into the Wesker we know him for, with the trench coat and all. And so Leon must save Ada from, his hold and stop Wesker. While at the same time, that is possibly somewhere else, we have Jill or older Ashley on a mission like Leon to stop Wesker. But it will be like in Resident Evil 2 remake style, where you choose who you play with, and then there's road B, so kind of Resident Evil 2 style. Now that's what Resident Evil 5 might be. Now I already know they'll tell down a lot of things in Resident Evil 5 remake, like the zombie with the AK that appear around the end of the game, or the outrageous stuff that Chris punched a boulder. So I think they will also take away the partner concept, because it isn't creepy to be partnering up with a friend or someone that is armed with weapon. I mean, it's cool, it could be used for a cool moment, but it's not really creepy. There'll also be no dumb AI that waste ammo or healing or money. Now I know that's quite the change, but it's a good potential of a more creepy oriented sequel of Resident Evil 4. And I think it would be better if they stick to people we know, because if they ever remake the 6th game, they could put Claire, Jill, Ashley over the new character they introduced like Jake, Elena, or Pierce. That would make a better Resident Evil 6 already, because there are more characters that we know. Now I'm sure if you follow Jill in Resident Evil 5 and not Ashley, they could introduce Chris in the remake franchise. And I like Chris, so I want him to be in it. But I prefer that it would be Ashley. That way it's more contained and focused on what we know. Maybe they could make a 5th game that introduce Chris and have him with his own story, then have the 6th be about Leon in Africa stopping Wesker with Chris, Jill, Claire, Ashley, and Ada. Maybe even Ethan and Rose. So that would be a epic conclusion. Anyway, that's it for all the idea I have of what possible sequel Resident Evil 4 remake could have. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you liked the video. Subscribe to not forget the channel. And until we see each other again, have a good day.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping